Mafia!
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is a Week 5 edition of Eagles Talk. Crushing, disappointing, a lot of things to talk about. Loss to the Denver Broncos yesterday. Ultimately, they go down 21-17. Had a chance to win at the end. Did not come to fruition. Realize, hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on, hit the comments, tell us what you think, what you thought about the game yesterday. We're going to get all the comments as we go along here. Each and every week, we are brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention HUD Radio for 10% your in-store purchase. Chux with the week off. I am Rob Brinkman. We have PY, Peter Young, Les Bowen be on just a few minutes. Give his thoughts on the game. But let's start with our poll question. We'll throw it to you. It was, let's see. I could bring it up. Anyway, PY, what's going on? What did you think about the game yesterday? A few quick opening thoughts.
I mean, it sucked. It was heart-wrenching. You know, once again, Jalen looks really good in the second half. We don't run it all really good in the first half. We don't run it all in the second half. As usual, Kevin Patullo has absolutely no finger on the pulse, which was my same issue with Brian Johnson. The O-line can't stop anything. Dickerson's hurt.
All right, let's dive into our poll question. The missed deep shot to A.J. Brown, the biggest reason the Eagles lost to the Denver Broncos. What do you think about that? I think that's ridiculous. That is not the biggest reason the Denver Broncos
and
by a long shot.
In no way, shape, or form. Like, did Jalen overthrow him a little bit? Yeah. Did AJ stop running the route properly? Yeah. But there were also there were other plays. I think the refs played a part into it. I'm not saying they're not the reason we lost, but there was some poor officiating in that game. Like the missed play to start the game. The fumble. That was a fumble. That's fumble. They had the exact same play in the Bengals game. That's a fumble. I don't understand how that's an incomplete pass. The Jahan Dotson play on the left-hand hash mark. That's a completed pass. He had 2 feet down. That's ridiculous. The fact that they picked up the intentional grounding call when the whole purpose of the new review system this year is to go over that, and they just ignored it and they picked it up and they gave some nonsense about that. That's really bad. Another thing is I don't understand. Like, while we missed a few deep shots, we missed the Devontae Smith one, we missed the AJ Brown one, the Jahan Dotson one. Like, there are still other opportunities to win this game, but you're not going to win the game. I understand that we were not running the ball effectively right now. I still would have tried to run the ball a little bit in the second half because, like, let's say they're not, because after the wheel route, what did we have, like 4 or 5?
Nothing. They did nothing.
They had like 4 or 5 series where it was a combined 30 yards, right? Combined 30 yards, right? So let's say we still did that. Like, let's say we still had combined 30, 40 yards, whatever, over those 4 or 5 series. Let's say we run the football, and at least we get to kill the clock a little bit. So, like, Denver doesn't have a chance to, like, maybe they don't have the chance to kick that field goal. Maybe we keep the lead a little bit because it's so close. Another issue I have is there's no reason Jalen Hurts should only have 2 runs. Like, I don't understand how in the first 4 games he had an average of 10 QB runs, whether they're designed or not. Like, there's no reason because whenever nobody else is getting open, like whenever we're having trouble running the ball, he is always able to get his. He is always able to make that big splash play with his legs. That made no sense to me. Another thing that made no sense is in the first half, you were running that little gadget play. You know, he's running to the right-hand side and he's finding Goddard, and we're hitting it every time. I don't understand where there's none of that creativity in the second half. I think a lot of it is just Kevin Patullo he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like, the offense is predictable. Like, they were talking about on First Take today. They were talking about how this is the most predictable offense in the NFL, and it is. The routes aren't complex. Everything is taking too long to develop. We can't block for shit. Everyone's hurt, which is a big problem. Dickerson's hurt, which I think is a blessing because he's going to need some time. He needs to get healthy. Juergens even said it today. He's like, I'm not where I need to be. I'm still hurt. I'm still recovering from my busted back from the NFC Championship game / the Super Bowl. Like, I understand you're going to look at certain things in this game, but with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, they got on the same page, that they would have won that game. Maybe if you had a little bit better play calling in the second half, we probably win the game. If you put the ball in the hands of your quarterback to make a big splash play instead of just going 8 straight pass plays, maybe you win the game. I just, they were even talking about it today, and they're just like, McNabb was on, and he was already like, there's a deeper issue with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. I'm like,
well, what? He would know.
Yeah, right. You started the whole thing. You're sticking your nose in it when it has nothing to do with you. In my experience. You mean the experience where you didn't once stick up for your teammate and you kind of shafted him every chance you got because you were jealous? The quarterback he's not you. Jalen Hurts is not you, 5. He's not jealous. He's not going to put his feelings and his emotions first as opposed to what you did. But, like, there were just other opportunities to win this game. They just fell short. You were lighting a match every week. And guess what? You got burnt this week. That's all it is. At the end of the day, you can't play stupid games, get stupid prizes. That's 100% what happened. That's why we lost.
To the poll question, the deep shot to AJ is the biggest reason. No. The biggest reason they lost is because they cannot block worth anything. Whether it's health, whether it's execution, I don't know. But this offensive line is nowhere near a top 5 unit in the NFL. Nowhere near. And that's why they've been a successful franchise over the past, 10 years, the last decade. They've had a top offensive line. This is not a top offensive line unit in the NFL. It's just not. It's top 20, maybe. And that might even be a stretch with what's going on. They cannot run the football. They could call 8 run plays in a row. With how they're blocking up front right now, they would get 8 yards. Maybe less than 8 yards, because I don't know that they would gain positive yards if they called it. So now you're boxing into throwing the football because you got to do something to move the ball to try and make it easier. Teams are also playing the run, like playing the Eagles to stop the run and making Jalen beat him. And now he almost did yesterday. He was 23 of 38 for 290 yards. That's not good. If you have 38 throwing attempts, you need to have well over 300 yards. So that's an execution problem on offense. That's probably the second reason that they lost the football game yesterday. Offensive execution, absolutely pathetic. Kevin Patullo looked like he scripted about 20 plays that were good and got him the lead, and then he didn't know what to do.
Yep.
When Sean Payton got in the lab, when they were up 10-3 at halftime, and Sean Payton adjusted, and this coaching staff didn't. So there's number 3. Your coaches have been, for generally speaking, I know they adjusted well in the Rams game, but generally speaking, your coaching staff has been outdueled big time in the second half by coaches like Todd Bowles and Sean McVay, and even Dallas was charging to win that game in week 1. So that's number 3. The AJ is going to need to have a couple big games in a row, and all this will be recent.
So
distant memory.
So they had a 2-hour. Supposedly they had a 2-hour conversation today. It's him. It's Jalen. It's Saquon, And you can just tell, like, Saquon's not happy with this
You know
situation.
what, Pete? I don't give a shit that they're having cuddle club and talking about what's wrong.
But it's not even about
fucking fix
it's
what's
not
wrong.
it's
on
not
the
about
field.
cuddle club. Here's the thing. That tells you that this is not a huge issue.
That's all they're doing is talking. They're talking this.
You have
to,
but here's
this,
the thing.
and I got to run the ball better, and this guy's got to catch the ball better, and no one does shit about it.
You have to talk about it, though. Like, if this was an issue, a larger issue, and we needed to press the red panic button, it would be everyone is refusing to talk. Everyone is refusing to have conversations with themselves. And AJ would be doing like sit-ups in his goddamn driveway because of how bad things are. The fact that they're willing to sit down and have conversations with each other shows that they're willing to move past things and work on stuff and get things right. That's a good sign. That's a great sign for things to move forward. Obviously, they have to put it together on the field.
For 4 weeks, PY. They've been talking.
No, they haven't.
It's getting worse.
It's
worse.
Do you not watch press conferences? He had a press conference yesterday where he said, "Well, did you talk to Jalen after the game? Nope. Did you talk to him in the huddle? Nope. That's not good." If that continued, that would be a blow up. Something is going to blow up right in front of their faces. The fact that they're willing to sit in the room and have conversations with each other and have tough conversations, because guess what? There are people who I'm like brothers with, and having to be in a work environment, that could cause problems. That could cause stress. That could put a strain in a relationship. Like, you could be cool with people at your job and then have people who you're like brothers with outside of the job. Once you merge those two things, it doesn't always work. Sometimes it's like fire and ice. Like, my dad's one of my favorite people in the whole world, but like it's tough for us to work with each other because we're super similar and we butt heads at times. Like, that could be what it is. But if it's a continuous problem and you're not talking, the worst, any marriage counselor would tell you the biggest red flag that you're headed for a divorce is when you're absolutely refusing to talk to each other. The fact that they're willing to set differences aside, they're willing to take the time, they're willing to have a 2-hour, it's not like a 10-minute conversation. That don't mean shit to me. If you sat for 10 minutes, it don't mean dick. But the fact you're willing to sit in a room for 2 hours and try and figure this out is a good sign that it's salvageable and you can figure this shit out and right this ship.
I mean, the offense needs to start pulling their weight because this defense is keep them in every game. The defense has been fantastic.
How about we start bailing the quarterback out? Because he's doing everything he possibly can. I'm seeing people like, oh, no, he's not playing well. What? He's having this best.
He didn't play great yesterday.
He's having his best year since 2022. Like he's doing everything you could possibly ask of him to win.
Why? Because of stats?
He's protecting the football. He's coming up big in big.
He played okay yesterday. I don't think he played great. I don't think he played awful.
He's playing great with that offensive line right now. They can't block for shit.
Well, Jalen Hurts makes $120 million a year, whatever the heck he makes. He's paid to overcome adversity. It's not always going to be peaches and cream for Jalen Hurts.
I'm not saying it has to be.
Criticism nationally of Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts breathing is going to get him like criticism. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like,
I'm just saying,
when he plays well, it's not good enough. When he underperforms slightly, it's not good enough. When he wins a Super Bowl, it's not good enough. When he's Super Bowl MVP, it's not good enough. If he throws for 300 yards, it's a loss on him. When he throws for $150, 2 touchdowns, and he wins the game in a big moment, that's all. I don't know what we're seeing in him. Like,
I'm just saying, Jalen Hurts is going to have to prove those critics wrong. That say
they don't have to prove shit. What's there to prove?
Jalen Hurts is going to have to overcome.
What is there to prove?
The Eagles want to
what is there to prove? Please tell me what there is to prove. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He's been to the playoffs every year that he's been a starter. Like, there's nothing to prove.
He needs to be better. He needs to be better. If this offensive line is
everybody in the NFL needs to be better. Justin Herbert needs to be better.
You're unwilling to even have a conversation about it. So
everyone needs to be better as a quarterback.
That's in the mud.
That's like saying, well, I have a
Jalen
B.
Hurts
I don't
wasn't
need to
the
get
whole
to
world
A.
yesterday.
Like everybody needs to play better. He played well. Like he gave them enough opportunities to
He didn't
win
play
the
well. He played okay.
Like what are we doing here? Like they can't block. They're
I'm
letting them
talking
get
about
sacked.
the game. I already talked about that. Landon Dickerson's not getting healthy anytime soon unless he takes significant time off. All right. I don't know what's going on with Cam Jurgens. So he's gonna have to get this. They're gonna have to get this thing going with a middle of the pack offensive line. Is my point.
They're 4-1. Despite that, they're 4-1. He's
God.
overcoming that clearly.
He didn't yesterday.
Cool.
They didn't win. They didn't win. You
Was
can look
that him?
past flaws
Was
and
that
look
him?
past inconsistencies when you keep. They didn't win yesterday. So now it's time to look in the face and take an inventory of everything offensively.
How about the play caller having a finger on the pulse? How about the play caller like expanding his
We
view a little
about
bit?
him. Let's see what Les Bowen has to say. Bowen on Birds, Eagles talk, Mr. Les Bowen. Tensions are obviously high here. Phillies stink. The Eagles didn't play good at all yesterday. We had our poll question about the missed deep shot by A.J. Brown. Me and PY both concurred that was not the main reason they lost the game. Offensive line play is the reason they lost the game for me, and the reason why this team is in a funk, because it's not a top 5 unit like it's been in years past.
That's certainly true, Rob, but I go with penalties as the reason they lost the game. They took 9 penalties. 6 of them were offensive penalties, and only one of them occurred in a drive where they ended up scoring points. So they shut down a bunch of drives by getting behind the sticks. Everybody was so upset about the lack of running. You know, which 2nd and 13 or 3rd and 7 did you want to run on? You know, you just can't take penalties like that. And it was their good players. You know, the 2 guards each took a penalty. They're good players, but the other penalties were by Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Barkley, Brown, Devontae, and I forget
that one.
The 4th one. Anyway, they were all self-inflicted. The offensive line does need to be a lot better, particularly when it comes to run blocking. And I think that's really why they don't have a great run game right now, is they can't block it. But getting back to the poll question, they would have won that game if AJ had run under that ball. But I still don't think that papers over a lot of shortcomings for me. You know, I disagree vehemently with Rob about Jalen Hurts. I really think if guys catch passes, if they run under passes that were catchable, if Barkley gets his feet set and a 30-yard completion on 4th and 4 isn't overturned, I kind of think Jalen Hurts had a hell of a day. But, there were some sacks that he didn't need to take. But other than that, I had no problem with him at all. I don't think it was his fault that they lost. The penalties and letting and 3 and out and making the defense play 74 snaps and just grinding it into dust. Those were the reasons they lost, in my opinion.
Here's Chris Kaufman on YouTube. Saquon hit that 17-yard run, and then he only got 1 rush for the entire.
He got 1 that counted. There was at least 1 more that was erased by a penalty, and he got a 47-yard touchdown catch, which counts as much as the ones you get running.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. But again, which 2nd and 13 or 3rd and 7 did you want him to run on? They were behind the sticks the whole second half. They could not run a sequence without taking a penalty. And they took the drive after the Broncos went ahead 18-17. They took 2 penalties. First, it was the legal guard downfield on the 8-yard pass to Devontae, and then finally they get to 4th and 4, and it's the 30-yard miracle to Devontae that gets called back on a technicality that had nothing to do with the play. But they did it. There's no reason why Saquon Barkley's feet should not be set. You're right, Chris Kaufman, but that's the kind of game they played. They just didn't have any kind of rhythm or any kind of they stumbled over their own feet the whole second half, pretty much after they made it 17-3.
Matt Berg. No one says Smith and Brown are great one-on-one and in man coverage, but against zone, you can tell they're just slow.
No,
they're
not just slow. I think the route concepts against zone are very problematic to me. And I'm not a big X and O guy, but I don't see them getting guys open against zone.
They never get anyone open. It's boring. It's not exciting. Everyone can tell what they're doing. Like that's why they're not able to scheme anyone open. Any other offensive coordinator can scheme guys open but us. I've never understood it. And maybe it has to do with Nick's philosophies, but that's also why I didn't want another guy in here who's of the same mindset. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. I kind of resisted that thinking because I thought Patullo was a solid part of what they were doing, and what they were doing, they won the Super Bowl. So I thought, well, it's okay. But no, it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's like having two Knicks out there,
and in this building, though, for 4 years, right?
Yeah, and it's always
the exact same thought processes. Though.
It was Nick's offense last year. They just ended up running the ball a lot. Kellen Moore didn't change the offense.
I think he added his sprinkles here and there. There was a lot of motion.
Yes, but they were not running his offense.
I think it was a different offense than they ran in 2023. Like I think it was a little bit. The playbook was opened up a little bit more. It was a little bit more complicated. It was much smarter. Like it was much. The finger, like you had a veteran who knew what to call and when to call it. This wasn't someone like Brian Johnson where it's like, all right, I'm on 1st and 10 at the goal line. What am I doing? Yep. Kenny Gainwell run on first down. That's what I'm running.
And you bring up a good point because one of their major problems yesterday, the reason for the Barkley penalty and a lot of the problems that they have is they get plays in with like 8 seconds left on the play clock and run up to the line. And then Barkley's trying to do this motion where he goes all the way over and comes all the way back. And they're trying to snap the ball because they're going to get a delay of game on 4th down. That's not a smooth operation, I'm going to say.
I think Bob Brink got to score more than 17 points. League scored 17 points, so he's absolutely right about that.
I think
that was a good defense they were facing, but nonetheless, they had 17 points.
They did
midway through the third quarter. They were doing just fine. Everybody, that's my biggest thing is if you'd asked me midway through the third quarter, I'd say, well, this is probably the best game they've played in some ways because Denver's good, and they're not scoring a lot, but Denver's defense is really respectable, and Denver only has 3 points. This is really. For game 5, this is all right. And then did anyone else feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just felt I was there, unfortunately. You just felt like you're letting them hang around.
Yep.
That's what happens when you let an underdog lay around.
You just kept shooting yourself in the foot. Like the fact that like Saquon was even talking about it, that like Jalen was the person who brought up the wheel route. Great call. Want to know why you didn't decide to call it a second time? Because I think that would have caught him off guard. Like
it was an audible. You could tell the line. He switched into that play. And again, that doesn't reflect well on the people running the offense.
Well, he says go back to mixed bag screens, middle.
I'm in favor.
Drop a long or two, mix in some runs. I mean, that's
of all the times to like.
They need to find the formula. They need to find the 2025 formula that works because they haven't found it yet.
They
need to stop taking stupid penalties. You can't have 3 false starts at home.
They'll call screens all freaking day, except for like when they need to call a screen.
Yeah.
All right. Second and 8. Nobody's really expecting anything. Maybe throw a screen in there. See what happens. Who are we throwing it with? Who's our slowest wide receiver? That guy. He's gonna get the screen. Devontae? No.
Or let's make sure we have Grant Calcaterra blocking.
Yes,
somebody
Grant's
really
blocking. It's like, all right.
They're obsessed with getting him involved.
What?
They really are. It seems like they go out of their way to get like packages in.
Because he's their second tight end. That's what they're trying to do.
And of course, he was out after like the midway through the second
Yeah.
quarter yesterday, so it
He
didn't
can't
matter.
block. He couldn't block me.
But some of the stuff they try to do, did you see the sack? I'm pretty sure it was a sack. It was either a sack or a run that was thrown for a big loss, where Dallas Goedert was trying to get to a defensive lineman who was like 8 yards away from him, and he's like throwing himself at the guy as the guy runs past. He's Dallas Goedert. Maybe he didn't line up in the right spot. I have no idea. But the ball is snapped, and Dallas Goedert has no shot at getting to this guy that he's got to block.
I didn't notice it at the stadium. I could only stomach watching half the DVR replay.
Yeah,
that
I don't blame you.
I mean, I'm sitting there watching it like a jerk off. Like I know, like I'm just gonna get mad again. I know what's coming.
Maybe it'll turn out different this time.
Well, I didn't. Here's Matt Bergless. Why don't the Eagles have Jalen go under center more on first and second downs or at all? Understanding Jalen can't do it or may not want to, they'll extend the run game and the offense.
Yeah.
Fits the scheme.
Well, one issue they do have, I don't know the answer to Matt's question, but I will say they always run under center, and they almost always run in pistol, and they almost always pass in shotgun. So that makes it pretty simple for the other team.
The way they run everything is very simple. You just know exactly what the Eagles are going to run, and if you catch them off guard, great. But otherwise, they kind of have an idea of what you're going to do, and if you beat them, you beat them.
Yeah.
John Malmos. I mean, got the New York Giants coming up on a short.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Dickerson plays with a high ankle sprain on Thursday. Right? Yeah. I might let Dickerson sit for several weeks, frankly. I didn't think Toth was terrible. He's not as good as Dickerson, of course, but he was all right. And
he's healthy. That's the one thing. Dickerson's not right now. Where we're at right now with him, I might be like, we'll see you after the bye.
Well, this is what happens when you win the Super Bowl. Guys have, for instance, Cam Jurgens. I was reading about this today. So Cam Jurgens had back surgery after the Super Bowl. Well, because the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, he had back surgery 6 weeks later. Then he would have had it, maybe even 2 months later. Then he would have had it had they not made the playoffs. So Cam Jurgens is still recovering from that back surgery, and he admitted it yesterday. And you just have to live with that. I mean, it's nobody's fault, but that's why teams don't repeat as Super Bowl champions. There's guys out there. Yeah, Carter's got a shoulder. He's playing with a bad shoulder. Maybe you sit him for a week or two. I don't know. But right now you don't have the team that won the Super Bowl. You just don't.
That's a good segue into the defense because the defense was lights out again.
And then terrible.
I thought the defense was good yesterday. You let up 21 points at home, you should win.
Yeah, but every drive in the fourth quarter, they couldn't stop anything. They just, and they took penalties too. The Bowen thing, I know it's frustrating to people, but that's a penalty. I mean, I know he was thinking this guy's just short of the first down. I've got to stop him from creeping forward, but he's on the ground. And you just kind of, you get your arm down and you roll or something. You don't go down on top of him like that. If they had done that to an Eagle, we would have been screaming bloody murder.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we just talked about the injury bug.
They also wouldn't have called it, Les.
John Melmos, Les, will Howie do anything before the trade deadline?
Oh, yeah. So? I think he'll try to. I don't know
edge rush.
Edge rush still, even though they signed Zadarius Smith. They need something else. They frankly could use a defensive tackle unless they're going to let Robinson play, which they don't seem to want to do.
Yeah.
Offensive line, if these many guys are banged up, I don't know. But you have to have some. I mean, it's great for him to want to do it, but there has to be something out there that's available that.
Well, that's the problem. Is people just think you can trade to trade. I'm like, there has to be someone out there that wants to trade with you, and there has to be someone out there you want. Like otherwise, you get like a stupid trade for like Robert Quinn.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
And lots of times it's not because they're idiots and they traded for Robert Quinn. It's because there's nothing. It's like you're looking at the bargain basement after the big sale. There's a couple mismatched socks if you want to buy those. I
keep seeing people say that. Oh, Ringo sucks. We have to go get another corner, and I'm like,
yeah,
he's been.
Well, I know he's your guy.
I thought he was okay yesterday.
Barely okay.
He wasn't great. He was okay.
I'll go with you this far. He is, as he keeps playing, I see the potential for him to get better. You were saying last week he's still 23 years old, and okay, that makes sense to me. I mean, Adoree Jackson is 30. It makes sense to me but Ringo's not good. I mean, he's okay, and he's a guy that you could call a PI on him almost any time downfield. He always has his hands on the other guy. And sometimes it's mutual fighting, and sometimes it's just him grabbing the guy. They could have called one on him right before halftime. That would have been a disaster. But he's not terrible. I mean, I
just need him to be serviceable. Like
he's serviceable.
I think we forget like what you need a CB2 to be. Like I think
last year was a unicorn.
Quinyon spoiled everybody last year. Like, do we forget? Like, I was looking this up in 2023. Like, Bradbury gave out like 800 yards and like 11 TDs as your cornerback too. Can he give up like if he gives up like less than 300 yards or 400, let's say 400 to be conservative, less than 400 yards and like 3 touchdowns. You know what? He had a good year. Like that's numbers I can take for my CB2. Like I keep hearing people say, well, we got to go get somebody. Who are you getting? Who are you getting that they're just trading away? Who are you getting that's going to learn a complicated Vic Fangio system on the fly, unless it's somebody who already knows the system?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It really is. And, maybe a position change, maybe slim down Nakobe Dean and have him play corner. I don't know.
One of those guys.
I'm joking.
People still on that hill. Like, whether it's Keely Ringo or one of the guys that's hurt right now, one of them will take the bull by the horns, and they'll be the cornerback too.
It's fine. It's like
Mitchell was really good, I thought, again yesterday.
No, he was not.
Mitchell had a big problem with Cortland Sutton, but
he was good in the first half.
Sutton's really good, the defense just got run ragged. I mean, you just can't. To me, the fourth quarter for the defense, you just can't expect that. No. I saw today. I knew it was 74 snaps for the defense. What I'd forgotten was, or I didn't really have it at the top of my mind, was 72 snaps last week in Tampa in the heat. They're going to pound this. That's a real danger here, is that you're going to screw up this defense and get people hurt just because the offense isn't working. That can happen, and I see that danger.
All right, Les, is this offense fixable, or are we in for just a staring at paint dry every week?
It's absolutely fixable. I think Jalen Hurts, with no penalties and with guys running to catch the ball, could have thrown for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns yesterday. People who say he's not capable of that, I know that he is.
Do your job and don't do stupid shit. And he gives you a chance to win every single week. How about the start of the season? Everyone was crowning Justin Herbert. What has he looked like the last 2 weeks?
Right.
Like he's cost his team.
They do have a lot of problems. They do have the Patullo problem is a problem.
It's a big problem.
The offensive line, particularly with run blocking, is a problem.
Oh, big problem.
And they have to get those problems sorted. They have to get some O-line healthy. It's the offense is definitely fixable. There's nothing, they're not trying to throw it to Travis Fulgham or anything again.
Whoa, Wes, let's not take it.
By the way, did you see that? Did you see Carson Wentz throwing to Justin Jefferson Sunday? I bet Carson was like, yeah, I was going to do this 5 years ago, but.
Wes, we're this close. We're this close to Jalen versus Carson.
Yeah.
I need it for my mental and physical health.
Yeah, but why? It's not a fair fight.
It doesn't. I don't care if it's a fair fight.
They will kill him. They will kill him. He'll do something.
Stick his dick in the dirt. Well, I don't care.
Yeah. It'll be carnage if they do face him.
Yes.
But he's not terrible for a backup quarterback. He's actually pretty good. But he's not athletic anymore, and that was his biggest strength.
Speaking of the schedule, I mean, it opens up here a little bit. You have Giants, Vikings, Giants.
I still don't see the Panthers or the Jets or the really, really awful teams. These are teams that, they're not good, but the Giants could give you a good game on a short week.
It's a division game. So you gotta be on your toes for a division game.
Look,
I mean,
5 weeks through the season, if you told me we'd be 4-1,
sure.
I'd be happy. I'd be ecstatic. Ready to play the Giants 4-1? I'm good to go.
Right, and nobody crucial is out for the season or anything like that. So
it should be. Am I wrong in saying that it should be pretty easy for this team to get the 7-1 before the bye week?
Yeah.
Don't ever say easy. They don't have an easy.
They should be 7-1 before the bye week, though. Correct?
They could be. Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. I think.
And then the schedule gets fun again. At Green Bay and then Detroit at home. Both.
Well, you got to get healthy and you got to get into gear. Detroit is really the team. Everybody talks about Green Bay. Detroit, I guess, gets dismissed because of what they did in the playoffs last year. But I've seen Detroit a little bit this season, and Detroit looks darn good to me. So we'll just see.
See if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
All right, Les, any final thoughts before we let you go?
Well, just that, did you see the Phillies tonight?
No, we didn't.
Oh, my God.
No, I did. I was at the Saturday game.
Aaron Nola, game 3. Thank you for not making me care.
They were down 4-1 in the 9th. They got 2 runs. Castellanos doubled in 2 runs. It's 4-3. Castellanos is on second with nobody out, the tying run.
He gets thrown out third.
They bunted, which
they never do.
They didn't pinch run for Castellanos, the slowest man on the team, so he gets thrown out at third base. Subsequently, Harrison Bader singles. So if you'd had like a real pinch runner going from second to third on the bunt, or if you just had a real pinch runner on second base, they would have scored the tying run. But they didn't, and the Phillies lost. That's my final thought.
And that's what they're going with. They're going with Aaron Nola.
Yes, they are.
I guess, but it doesn't matter at this point. They're not going to beat the Dodgers 3 straight.
So they're just going to let Robertson go in and get 4 outs while Ranger Suarez just sits around and does nothing during the game sweep.
Maybe Ranger could have pinch run tonight. That would have been an idea.
Could have been a worse idea.
All right, Les. Well, thank you for joining us.
Great to see you guys. I hope we're in a better spot next week.
We will. Hopefully we can get it right against the Giants here. But anyway, have a good night, Les.
You too. Take care.
All right, PY. So obviously Les had a lot to say. I mean, moving forward, I asked Les, I guess you chimed in a little bit, but officially, is this offense fixable?
Yes. Look, this isn't.
Just push back a little bit here.
No, it's 100%. This isn't 2023 where Jalen's fumbling all over the place. He's not throwing interceptions every 3 passes. He's not making dumb football plays like trying to play hero ball. He's playing smart. Look, the offense, you can call better play calling. You can sit in the lab and be like, all right, I like this. I don't like this. Let's fix this up. maybe you go out and get another tight end who can block a little better to help you out. Like there's going to be things you can do to make this offense better. You just have to be smarter.
Why don't they do it then? I mean, every week we talk about it's fixable. Is it fixable?
It
we
is.
Talk about every week about how fixable this is.
They said it wasn't
every Sunday, and nothing's fixed.
They said it wasn't fixable last year. They said, "Oh, this team is done, or we're going to fire Nick Sirianni by week 6."
What's a real how long am I supposed to give them before I start getting really irritated? Which I'm kind of irritated now, but I wouldn't say I'm really irritated.
If we're still having these issues after the bye week, then I think that would be a logical
3 more weeks of trash offense football. I'll lose my mind. I'll have a heart attack. I'll have a stroke, and I'll die.
We didn't hit the stride until like halfway through the season last year.
So
I hate to tell people
it's like that. It's like that different. Like
slow,
you have to reinvent the wheels that much.
The NFL now is a slow start. It's a slow start. Like because nobody plays preseason. It's a
Why do they slow start every year? And don't tell me preseason because these teams are putting up 30, 40 points every week. I'm watching on Red Zone. And they didn't play in the preseason.
Are the Chiefs doing that? Are the Chiefs putting up 30, 40 points of offense every week right now?
Teams are, though.
I must have missed that.
The preseason. Their offense is better than the Eagles right now. They didn't play in preseason.
Please name me the teams. No, name me the teams right now through 5 weeks are putting up like 35-plus points of offense right now.
Tampa did it again yesterday. They've been lighting up scoreboards the whole season.
Tampa is playing exactly like the Eagles right now, where they're holding on by by a thread. And guess what? It's sustainable until it's not. We saw this in 2023 with the Eagles. Like you're going to win these close games until it blows up in your face. And I love Baker.
I'm irritated about it because I watch these offenses hum across the league, and then everyone's including myself, wants to give the Eagles pass after pass after pass.
Well, I don't give a shit who hums. I don't give a shit who hums in the first 6 weeks. Okay, that's what the Chargers looked like last year. That's what the Lions looked like. Like all these teams.
Justin Herbert is he's a complete mutt. The guy sucks.
I'm not going to say that. But that's my whole point. Is that
Dak Prescott's better than him. Baker Mayfield's better.
There's tons of guys in the first half of the season that are humming and are electrifying for those first 6, 7, 8 weeks. And then the second half of the season.
My whole point is, why can't we just look like we know what we're doing one time before Christmas? Is that so hard? Like, is that a lot to ask for?
How about we just give it some time? It's 5 weeks.
No,
we're 4-1.
Now you're taking losses, so I'm done giving them.
How am I taking losses? We lost 1 game. We've lost 1 game in over a year.
They shouldn't have lost that game yesterday.
Cool. Great news. Welcome to the NFL, pal.
Well, this is what you do. You talking like people are like you. Majority
so you said last year I was delusional about Nick Sirianni and I wasn't seeing things clearly. When in reality, I was the only one seeing things properly.
Coach ever. I think he's got good vibes and the players like him, but he's not this X and O genius.
When did I say he was an X and O genius? He's not. But guess what?
That's what they need right now. They don't have him because he hired his friend as the offensive coordinator.
He hired somebody that he trusted and he thought knew the game well enough to take the team to the next level. Maybe he's right and maybe he's wrong. I hate Kevin Patullo, but time is going to tell whether or not he's that guy. And I'm not going to know 5 weeks into the season. I wish I did, but we're not.
I wish we had more positive things to talk about with the man through 5 weeks. Kind of a rather large part of we're talking about close to 30% of the season.
The Commanders didn't look anything special for the first 5 weeks of last year.
I don't care about the Commanders. That was his Eagles.
But my point is they took some time to get going, and then they turned into a good offensive.
Okay, well, if Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni are listening, and all the fans out there, time's up. They need to figure this out.
Not up.
Yes, it is. They need to figure this out.
5 weeks. Watching 5 weeks.
No, I'm sick of watching crap offense.
You are
every
overly
week.
emotional. That is you. That is what you do. If everything is not perfect, you start, stop!
This
Like,
offense is not good enough to repeat right now. They need to
cool.
figure it
right
out.
now. You said it right now. That doesn't mean they can't fix it. It doesn't mean they can't right the ship. It doesn't mean
no progress at all.
Did you see
the
progress
process
through the
of them
first 5 weeks last year?
No, and I was pissed off then too.
Yes, maybe, just
Look,
maybe.
you just want
we
to
can-
it's all blowjobs and unicorns.
Yes,
all the
and
time,
with you,
all the time
everything.
in Eagleland. And
And
God
your
forbid
whole issue
someone
is
says,
the
hey,
world is
this
on
part of
fire
the game
every
fucking
time.
Sucks. They need to figure it out. It's like,
Hey.
oh no, they're gonna fix it. I've seen no evidence of any evidence
Except
of
you
anything
have,
being
though.
fixed.
Except you have. You saw these issues last year, and they were able to right the ship and win a Super Bowl.
Why do they have the same issues every year?
I couldn't tell you that. But this
that's
team
not a red flag to you at all.
This team has given you enough reasons to trust them. I'm not saying you need to have blind faith, but to just assume that nothing can be fixed is foolish.
I didn't say that. I said I've seen no evidence of them even being on the right track of fixing anything through 5 games.
Who says they can't? Who says they can't? Who says that they don't go out and have a blowout performance against the Giants?
Then it's just like, oh, it's the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl last year. They're going to be fine. Like that's the narrative you're
guess
pushing.
what?
It seems.
Good teams sometimes start slow. The Patriots used to always start slow. The Kansas City Chiefs always start slow. But guess what? They're exactly where they are at the end of the season.
No, I get it.
In the playoffs, deep in the playoffs.
I'm not allowed to have any
Kansas City right now. Kansas City does not look good. But guess what? I'll guarantee they're going to be back in the AFC Championship game.
I don't know that.
Hosting the Arrowhead Invitational like they do every goddamn year.
I don't know that to be true.
I'll guarantee that right here. Like, okay, you don't think that the Chiefs are going to be back in the AFC Championship game next year? That's who they are.
Right now, I don't think they're going to be in the AFC Championship.
Football is not written in October. It's written in November and December.
But if you look like dog shit enough in September and October,
cool. I don't give a flying rat's ass what they look like in September or October. The Patriots and the Chiefs and great teams, they make their mark and they show why they're championship teams in November and December. Good teams close like that. The same thing happened with the Eagles last year where they looked like this. And because they have championship pedigree, they were able to right the ship and get where you need to get. This team has earned the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're not perfect every single week, but in the last 2 out of 3 years, they've made it to the Super Bowl. They've won the Super Bowl. That is a big deal. Not everyone can do that. We need to. I understand.
If they want to go back again, they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I guess why it's a week-to-week league. Got to play better. Got to make the adjustments. The good teams will do that. The bad teams will not.
What do I need to? What should I be looking for? What do I need to see them do against the New York Giants on Thursday to give me any indication that this thing is on the right track to being fixed?
How about shore up some of the penalties? How about a little bit more creative play calling? How about some better blocking schemes from time to time? How about putting your quarterback in a better position to start the game? You know, have a good game from start to finish. That's a good start. I'd be okay with that. I don't care if it's the Giants. Let's get some confidence going.
I hope they look like a comprehensive, offensive team on Thursday. Or I might lose my mind. I would put Jalen under center. I believe one of our commenters suggested that. I think that's a fantastic idea. And I would bust out the no huddle.
Sure, I'm fine with that. Speed it up.
I would let Jalen full control of the offense and go
100%.
No huddle. Hurry up.
Sure, I'm 100% in favor of that. He's super successful doing it because I think he's calling better audibles than what Patullo is putting out there.
Agreed on that. All right, closing thoughts, PY?
Let's kick the shit out of the Giants.
Yes, I hope they're on their toes. Thursday games are weird, and division
4 of
games are
6 is
weird,
going down.
but I'm fairly confident the Eagles will win the football game. But I need more than just a win this week. I need style points this week so I can put my heart at ease.
I don't need style points. Give me a decisive victory.
Yeah, I need some style. But maybe you don't. And
Win
that's
by
fine.
you give me a double-digit victory where I'm not sweating my balls off in the fourth quarter. I'm a happy camper.
That would be style. That would be style points in my opinion. Yeah, if you win like 30-10, 31-10, I need some style points. All right. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Eagles Talk. For PY, I'm Brinks. Peace out, everybody.